Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, children of all ages, it is I, Jolting Joe, coming to you from my back porch on Monday, July the 10th. Once again, it's hotter than hell down here in Texas. Sitting out here on my back porch. But what are you drinking? What are you smoking? As far as smoking, I went with a San Cristobal Quintessence. So, the San Cristobal there. And I haven't had one of these in a long time, so I was at the cigar shop the other day, and I figured I'd give you a good old San Cristobal. They're good smokes. Figured I wanted something a little bit lighter today, so kind of went more of a kind of a medium body today. All right, and then what are you drinking? And I still got a bunch of Troy Aikman beer left, so we are gonna do Troy Aikman beer. All right, the 8, and only football koozie I have is the Roughnecks. So I'm gonna put a Troy Aikman beer. I'm gonna put a Troy Aikman beer into my Houston Roughnecks koozie, and there we go. Oh, good sound. There we go. All right. Cheers to you. Like I said, it's okay. It's not the greatest thing in the world, but ain't the worst beer I've ever had either. Mm. Uh, no excuses. Okay. Well, ladies and gentlemen, we have officially entered the deadest part of the sports calendar. There's absolutely nothing going on. Right now, there's the home run derby tonight. All right. I guess we've got G League. I mean, we got. I guess we got Summer League basketball. I mean, do we have Summer League? I mean, I guess we got that. We get the home run derby, Major League All Star game tomorrow. Then Wednesday, I don't think there's jack shit. Like I said, there might be some Summer League games on Wednesday, but that's really it. I mean, we have entered the worst sports. I mean, the day after the All Star game is the absolutely worst day in sports because there's no NFL, there's no Major League Baseball, there's no NBA, there's no NHL. It's the middle of the week. There's no F1, there's no NASCAR. There's no. It's a Wednesday. There's no golf. There's no PGA. It is. Let's see. There's no big tournaments going on in tennis. I mean, it's a fucking dead zone of the sports calendar. It is the absolute worst fucking sports day of the entire calendar year. Is the day after the All Star game. Which is coming up on Wednesday, but that is the absolute worst day of the sports calendar. NBA free agency is I mean, still going on, but it's pretty much the big stuff's over with. NFL training camp has yet to start. Baseball, of course, are on the All-Star break. NHL, of course, is in their off season. Nothing's happening really with that. We've got, and then like I said, you're in the middle of races. Plus, F1 right now is just Max Verstappen won the British Grand Prix. He is absolutely running away with F1 this year. I mean, the real entertainment value is who's going to finish second and third early. Uh, a little breezy do warnings, but anyway, but it's just like I said, it's just the time in sports. So that's all we got. And obviously, college, college baseball's over with. College basketball. There's no college football. I mean, unless you're watching like fucking track and field or some shit. I mean, there's nothing going on. Right? Fucking USFL's over with, which I don't even know who won that. I don't even, does anybody know the UHFL was even playing still the other day? I turned on, the championship game was on. I was like, yeah, okay. I didn't even know if anybody else was going. I just looked at ESPN. The headlines suck today. I mean, Larry Nasser apparently was stabbed multiple times in prison, which good on whoever did it. Uh, Probably should have cut his balls off or his dick or something. But anyway, that's another story. The Yankees are in a new hitting coach. Um, Tebow down a minor league hockey team. They moved the Live Championship to a Trump course. I mean, that's it. Got the Women's World Cup coming up. Uh, Later this month, they're playing in New Zealand and Australia. Megan Rapinoe, you either love her or you hate her. There's really no in between with her. But announced her retirement after this season, which really is about time. I mean, she's 38 for crying out loud. Hell, even Alex Morgan and us guys, we enjoy Alex Morgan. Also, she's a hell of a soccer player, but also good looking lady. But hell, she's in her mid 30s now too. So the women's national team looking for a little bit of a youth movement. I think they got some new players coming up. And but get some old faces. I think Sarah Braun's still there. Alex Morgan, of course, Megan Rapinoe. Uh, but uh, but yeah, I mean, it was definitely an older team. Ertz, Julie Ertz, Zach Ertz's wife. I don't know if she's playing. She might be done too. She was getting kind of old as well. Uh, so yeah, we'll see what happens. But yeah, ESPN just says Rodman, ruthless, USWNT wants WC three-peat. Okay, Dennis. Whatever you say. Um, Hi. All right. So anyway, neighbors yelling, asking use of water, got moving people out from next door. Let's see. Yeah, where is Rod? Is this Dennis Rodman? I gotta look this up now. Uh, oh no, Rodman, is that a player? Trinity Rodman. Okay, I thought it was like Dennis Rodman. That's how I did too. I was like, I really did. This is probably her too. Let's see. Yeah, Trinity Rodman. Trinity Rodman. She's a player. That makes more sense now. I really did think. I mean, this Dennis Rodman. Dennis Rodman. He's crazy. I mean, he very well could have. Yeah, did that as well. But she'll be taking part in her first thing. So I think she's one of the new ones that's coming up for her. So yeah, it kind of is what it is. All right, and then baseball hasn't gotten to the trade deadline just yet. Biggest thing with the trade deadline, I think, is if the Angels are going to trade Shohei Ohtani. Um, they probably should, because I do not believe that he's going to re-sign with the Angels, unless they just give him a boatload of cash, which the Angels do that from time to time. See Mike Trout, see Albert Pujols, see Anthony Rendon. So I mean, there's a possibility for it, but from everything that I'm hearing is that the negotiations start at 10 years, $500 million, which, I mean, he's a hell of a pitcher. He's a hell of a hitter. I mean, eventually he'll stop pitching, but he can still hit. I mean, come on now. I mean, he's worth the money if you got it to spend. I think I'll end up going to the Dodgers. That's just me. But in the offseason. But if you're the Angels, and the Angels are falling further and further back, um, what they end up doing with Shohei. But even if you trade Shohei, it's going to be a 2 month rental unless you try to re-sign him. And the Angels are going to ask for the world for him. Prospects, cash, players, anything that you can think of. So it'll be kind of interesting to see what happens with that. Uh, just to kind of go through the standings, Astros just shit the bed against the Mariners. Um, all right, and we're back again. So as I was saying, the Astros shit the bed against the Mariners. But basically, it has gotten to the point where everybody needs the All Star break. Tampa. We'll go through the standings here too, but Tampa has fallen off. I think Tampa had lost 7 in a row before they snapped their streak Sunday because they were their last 10. They're 3-7 in their last 10, still in first place, but now only by 2 games ahead of guess who? The Baltimore Orioles. Only 2 games back of the Rays in the American League East. Who the hell saw that coming? Nobody. That's who. Toronto has now overtaken the Yankees. Toronto is 7 games back. The Yankees are 8 back. The Red Sox are 9 back. Um, and like I said, it's just I think everybody needs the break, except maybe Baltimore. So, but like I said, even Tampa has fallen. I think they still have the best record in the league. Nope, Atlanta does now. Atlanta's got 60 wins already. Shit, they're on fire. Um, Yeah, maybe they don't need the break either. Good lord. Uh, Braves scare me. I know the Astros took like 2 out of 3 in Atlanta earlier this season, but God, that team scares me. Not even if the Astros are making the World Series this year, but if they did, I'd be shitting my pants playing the Braves. They're fucking good. Uh, hmm. Ooh, before we get into that, we're gonna talk about De La Cruz from Cincinnati the other day, stealing 3 bases in an inning, steals second, steals third, and then steals home. I think he was the first guy since like 2005 to steal all 3 bags in an inning, and then the first Reds player to do it since I don't know 1919 or something stupid like that, is what they said. But he flat out stole second. Got a good jump. Flat out stole third. Without even a throw over. I mean, just caught him napping, and then the catcher throws the ball back to the pitcher. Pitcher's not paying attention. De La Cruz just busts it down the line, and pitcher at his back turned. Catcher's yelling at him, and then finally spins. He spins around, throws home. No, De La Cruz is safe. And so he stole 3 bases, only drew one throw. That was the second. No throw to third. Uh, I guess you could kind of say that there was a throw to home, but it was pretty magnificent. But that kid is. I kind of regret not going to seeing the Reds play when they were in Houston because just to see that kid play because he looks like he's gonna be something special. He just got caught up in June for crying out loud, and that kid's just doing it everything, man. So Cincinnati's doing really well now too. But yeah, I mean, kind of like I said, everybody's kind of needing the All Star break right now. AL Central, which is the probably the worst division in baseball. The Cleveland's leading that division by half a game. Cleveland's 500. They are 45-45. There you go. Twins half a game back. Detroit 5.5 back. White Sox 8 back. KC 19.5 back. And then in the West, like I said, everybody needs the All Star break. Rangers actually, since that Houston series, have not done well either. The Rangers dropped 3 of 4 to the Astros. They then dropped 2 of 3 to the Red Sox, and then, believe it or not, dropped 2 of 3 to the lowly Washington Nationals. So they've only got 3 wins in the last 10 games. So I mean, they're 3-7 in the last 10, just like the Rays are. And so they look like they were having the Astros. Just their offense can't fucking hit. Freaking Seattle looked like they were a goddamn Cy Young winners, but during this, but also too, no Altuve, no Jordan. Michael Brantley still hasn't played this season. And I mean, no Jordan, no Altuve. I mean, Jordan's probably number 1, and then Altuve's number 2 as far as the lineup goes. And then Bregman's just not performing well. Tucker's not doing too bad. Pena's doing but I know Pena was okay during the regular season last year. It's just we kind of got high expectations for him because, of course, he ends up winning the ALCS MVP, ends up winning the World Series MVP. Just had one hell of a fucking October. Hit the game-winning home run in that 18-inning game against Seattle. And so we just, us Astro fans was always just going to pick up where he left off, and that hasn't been the case. But then, in the bottom of the order, you're still looking at, and Diaz hasn't been too bad filling in for Jordan, but, I mean, he's a fucking rookie, right? But anyway, trying to blow rings is not working. But anyway, they're missing basically 2/3 of their lineup because you thought you were going to have Brantley, you thought you were going to have Altuve, you thought you were going to have Jordan. They're gone. They're missing two. They're missing 3/5 of their starting rotation. Lance McCullers hasn't pitched a game this year. He got fucking hurt. He was supposed to be a starter. He's not there. Luis Garcia blew out his UCL, so he's got Tommy John. He's out. Arquidi's been dealing with the shoulder thing. France has done a good job. JP France has done an excellent job in the rotation. Hunter Brown shows flashes, uh, but he just gets himself into trouble. He just throws a lot of damn pitches. I mean, it's happened the last 2 games, and it's like the fourth inning comes around when he gets to get that second time through the lineup, and it's just can't get anything done. Um, and then you got Blanco, who actually hasn't pitched horrible. It's just that he's real susceptible to the long ball. He's kind of like the new Justin Verlander. Like Verlander seemed like every time Verlander pitched, he was get up a solo home run. He just give up an obligatory solo home run. And that's kind of Blanco. Like every time he pitches, he gives up a home run. I don't think he's not giving up a home run in the times that he's pitched. And you got Brandon Bielak, and we all know who Brandon Bielak is. And other people, if you're not an Astros fan, you're probably wondering who the hell is Brandon Bielak. That's exactly right. But yeah, the Astros in 3 games against the Mariners scored 1-1-1, and then in the game that they did win, they scored 3 runs on 4 hits. 4 hits. 4 hits. But when you're scoring the same amount of runs as you did in 3 games overall, it's not good. It's not good. But the Astros are still hanging in there. They're just 2 back. Like I said, the Angels are falling. They're now 7 back. Seattle's now in third, 6 back. They picked up 2 games, of course, on the Astros, winning 3 out of 4. But still, they're only a game above 500. All right, so Seattle fan, you need to calm your shit. All right, you're still 6 back of the division. You're still basically a 500 baseball team. Calm your shit. That's all I'm saying. Just calm down. Mariner fans are weird, man. I mean, God bless them. They love their Mariners, but what the fuck have the Mariners done? And got swept by the Astros last year. This is the first time they've been in the playoffs since like 2005 or whatever it was. Uh, but yeah. Anyway. Mm. Anyway, last time they won a playoff series was '95, I think, against the Yankees. Was that '95 against the Yankees? I think. Yeah. Anyway, calm y'all's tits. Go Hawks. You know what I mean? Jesus. Just get ready to start looking forward to basketball. I mean, to football season. That's all I'm going to say. But they can very well turn it around. I'm not saying that I'm not going to, but Seattle's just always. It seems like they always underachieve and they always start off shitty. And I don't know. I mean, I don't know what it is, but Scott Service probably should have got fired like years ago. But whatever. All right. The Angels down the third, and then of course you got the A's, who they just still won 25 games. I mean, their win percentage is 272, but they still won 25 games. They are 27 and a half games out of first place. National League, like I said, Atlanta's on fire. Atlanta does have the best record in baseball. They are the first team to 60 wins. They are 60 and 29. That is a 674 win percentage. They've got a plus 147 run differential. That is insane. Is the Rays still crazy high? Rays is 149. The Rays is still insane as well. And the Rangers at 148. Those are the top 3 scoring run differential teams there. But yeah, Rangers only have a 2-game lead, and the Rays only have a 2-game lead, even with that run differential. Braves, on the other hand, have an 8.5-game lead over Miami of all teams. Philly is been struggling. They're 12 back. The Mets, they're not making the playoffs. They're 18.5 back. Cohen gave out all that money, but the thing about it is Schwarzer is 38, Verlander's 40. you know, uh, the lineup hasn't been good. Um, just they suck. That's all there is to it. They suck. Nats 36-54, four, and like I said, they just took 2 or 3 from the Rangers. All right, go figure. In the Central, Cincinnati, they do have a 1 game lead over Milwaukee. They went head to head over this weekend. They got a 1 game lead over Milwaukee. The Cubs 7 back, Pittsburgh 8.5, and Seattle's 11.5 back. Seattle's, man, St. Louis, man. When's the last time you saw them in the basement in the NL Central, man? Jesus. I don't even remember the last time that St. Louis missed the postseason, but they're going to this year. Uh, but there you go. Dodgers and Arizona are in a virtual tie for first place. Now, the Dodgers do have a better winning percentage, 573, as opposed to the Diamondbacks, 571. The Giants, 2.5 back. They're still right there in the West. And then the Padres, once again, disappointing, 8.5 games out. Once again, all those big names. They've got Machado, they've got Tatis, they've got Juan Soto, Yu Darvish, uh, Blake Snell. Yet 8.5 games out of first place. And then the Rockies bring up the rest of that division, 18 games out of first place. Check the wild card real quick here. We got a little bit of time left. In the American League wild card right now, the number 1 wild card team is the Baltimore Orioles, and then tied for that second wild card is the Toronto Blue Jays. Right now, I believe the Blue Jays did win the season series against the Astros, and so the Toronto's actually should be in that second wild card. They have identical records, both 50-41. But Toronto should be in that second wild card, and then the Astros are in that third wild card. Yankees just a game back of that third wild card behind the Astros. The Red Sox just 2 back. Seattle is 4 back. The Angels 5 back. Twins 5 back, and then after that it just kind of falls off. There's your wild card standings for the American League, and then in the National League. Right now, it's the Marlins in that number 1 spot, Diamondbacks in the number 2 spot, and the Giants in the number 3 spot. Philly actually just half a game back. So is Milwaukee. Both teams just half a game back of the wild card, and then after that it gets big. San Diego, the next closest team, at 6 back, and then it just kind of falls off after that. So really, that is for that final wild card spot. It's basically just a 3-team race at this point, and you got the 2 teams in there, so it's basically a 5-team race for the wild card. Whereas in the American League, it's a little bit competitive. You got the 3 wild cards, but then you got the Yankees, the Red Sox, Seattle's 4, 5, and the Twins 5. So you that one's anything 5 games under is definitely reachable. So you got that going on. So there you go. But yeah, I mean, like I said, we are completely in uh, the dead zone of sports. So we're probably going to end this show a few minutes early today because there's just not a whole lot of fuck to talk about. So enjoy the home run derby if you watch. I'll record. I always record it and then zip through it on the DVR. It's always easier that way. Probably watch the All-Star game tomorrow night, and hopefully it'll be done in about under 3 hours with the pitch clock now. Yeah, I think that's about it. Hope everybody had a good 4th of July. I did. Got hammered. It was fun. Threw beads at people. That was cool. So there you go. Ate a hot dog and a hamburger. America. That's a true story, by the way. It was good. But yeah, that's pretty much all I got. So, all right, y'all have fun. Watch the Derby, watch the All-Star game, and then we'll get into more sports. And then, like I said, training camp starting up here pretty quick for the NFL and stuff and whatnot. But I forgot to mention Patty Mills. I think Patty Mills has been with the NBA. I think Patty Mills has been with 5 teams here in the last 10 days. Because I think Brooklyn traded him to Houston, so that was 1 trade. Then Houston traded him to Oklahoma. That was 2 trades. Oklahoma traded him to Atlanta, so that was 3 trades. He's been with 4 teams, traded 3 times, and that was over the course of a 10-day span. Atlanta doesn't know if they're going to keep him or not, so he may get traded a fourth time and end up with 5 different teams. So don't run out and buy Patty Mills jerseys, because Jesus Christ, man, ooh man, that is absolutely insane in the membrane. So there you go. All right, y'all. Talk to you next week. Remember, at JJ Sports Show 63 on Twitter. That's at JJ Sports Show 63. Make sure you like and subscribe. We'll talk to you next week. Cheers.